The Bad Guys is a charming movie with lots of artistic flair, which I'm excited to talk to you about. And I'm also excited to share with you my observations about how this is a substantial departure from Dreamworks Animation's usual work in several ways. And we'll discuss all that in a moment. But speaking of Dreamworks Animation, they have another movie coming out later this year, the hotly anticipated Puss in Boots 2, The Last Wish. And the studio, along with independent movie research company Popcorn, want your help understanding what audiences are most excited about for this upcoming animated movie. That's right, I'm always telling you that studios do detailed market research, and you're like, nobody asked me, Grace. Well, they're asking you today. This is it. Click the link below for a truly unique experience that takes just about 10 minutes of your time. You'll get to see early release footage, including behind-the-scenes content, then answer a series of questions, as well as do some fun interactive challenges. And you can win Amazon gift cards as well. All this data will help Popcorn help the studio to better understand you. Anyone around the globe can participate. It's free to participate, but there is a limit. Only 3,000 people per event to keep that early access footage hush-hush. So again, click the link down below ASAP to be a part of this movie process today. Oh, pretty exciting. I'm excited you get to do that. All right, back to The Bad Guys. I have several big takeaways, as I said. First, they're taking a big page from Illumination, with The Bad Guys feeling very European in its art style. I mean, it's Los Angeles. It takes place in Los Angeles, the movie itself. But it really seems a lot of the times like we're in the south of France. And in fact, director Pierre Perifel, making his directorial debut for Dreamworks Animation. He's done some things for the studio in the past, but this is his first directing gig. Well, as you could probably guess from his name, he's French, just like a lot of the key talent over at Illumination. But where The Bad Guys differs from Illumination's movies is that it doesn't have the same silly factor. Illumination is very silly. The Bad Guys might be based on a series of Australian children's novels. It feels very European, and I guess Australia, being an offshoot of the UK to some degree. That's funny. We're both offshoots of the UK, but I think Australia is a bit more European feeling than we are. All right, so anyway, share your thoughts on that. But anyway, this movie is written by Ethan Coen, who is a screenwriter who's done some pretty big movies, but none of them are family films. And this is his first family screenplay, and I gotta tell you, he still has written basically an adult movie. At one point, Clooney even gets name-checked, in a pretty funny way, actually. But that's a clear nod to this film's Ocean's 11, I think, inspiration and aspiration. It's like, I'm sure the pitch must have been, this is a family-friendly or animated Ocean's 11, which isn't a bad pitch. But if, we already have Ocean's 11, which holds up so well, by the way. I watched it about a year or so again, and I was like, so good. So if you're doing like a family kids version of it, I think it needs to be just a little sillier. So I'm not sure how entertaining children will find this film, which I think leans very adult, especially with a lot of its dialogue. The opening scene was pretty dark, with Snake talking about why he likes to eat guinea pigs. I don't want to ruin it for you, but I was like, wow, you actually did that. And as for adults, I think the pace is a little slow for adults, and some of the twists are very obvious, especially to anyone who watches a lot of heist caper movies. So sometimes it feels like you're waiting for the movie to catch up to the obvious. You see it, I'd say, maybe 20 minutes or so before it happens. The audience I was with laughed, though, at a number of the jokes, and there were a lot of kids in the audience, and they were very quiet, so they were paying attention. So maybe kids will be like, oh, this is like a very adult movie for me, I'm excited. But also for adults, thank goodness you have the beautiful visuals and some amazing voice work to hold your attention when you need it to. The voice cast here is top tier, and everyone is giving it their all. The standouts in the cast are Sam Rockwell, I love Sam Rockwell, who is paired up with absolutely gorgeous and charming character animation. So French! I love the physicality of this character. It made me wonder who might voice the character in overseas dubs. I tried to look it up quickly before filming this review. I couldn't find anything right away, so I know this is playing already in some countries. Who did the character? I thought Omar Sy might do the French version, maybe. It was just cool. I mean, animation magic with that character. And Sam Rockwell, I don't want to make it seem like, anyone could voice this role. I think you need a very specific person to do it right, and Sam Rockwell is the American version of that. And anyone who's ever watched Glow, Glow, I still miss you, they know that Marc Maron is a really good actor. So good. I wish he did more stuff. I'm glad he's here. And here he's doing his best Danny DeVito impression, which I gotta tell you, is really good. Wolf and Snake's friendship, in my opinion, is the best part of the film. Zazie Beetz also does a great job as Governor Foxington, who has a fun love-hate relationship with Mr. Wolf. Some of their exchanges, particularly in the beginning of the film, were quite clever. But while I love to see strong female characters, I love it, I don't think it helps women when they are shown as being so much more competent than their male counterparts that it's not even a competition. That's not helpful to anybody, right? We want to be all a team, everybody. Everybody wants to be happy. There is one scene, though, where Foxington and Awkwafina's webs team up, and I thought that girl power moment played very well. That was a really nice note. Speaking of women, it took me like 2/3 of the movie to figure out who was voicing the chief of police. I was like, it sounded so familiar. I was like, is that Tracy Ullman? Who is that? And then I realized it was Alex Borstein from Mrs. Maisel, who is phenomenal on that show. I love her. She does a great job here as well, and it's cool to see her get more recognition in Hollywood and expand her resume. Of course, she doesn't need it. She's been on Family Guy for like decades, and so she's set for life with, in terms of finances, and I guess her place in Hollywood history. But she deserves to work, she deserves to work outside of that. She deserves to be a major talent in Hollywood. So I was happy to see her get picked here to do this role. Also, I would never have guessed that Piranha is Anthony Ramos. That's really impressive. He does a great job, and he has a big musical number. You don't have Anthony Ramos and not give him a song. As for the message about it's better to be good, I don't know if the movie is totally successful with that. So parents should be warned. I mean, I'm very impressionable with this kind of stuff to this day. I carved No Fate into a piano bench after seeing T2 when I was little, with some scissors. I didn't have a knife. That's so, but I mean, even as I realize that, if you're going to be bad, it should be only like in like a mischievous sort of way. But I think this movie, because it had criminal activities in it, kind of made it seem like it was good to be a mix of good and bad. So I think that you should have like a serious conversation with any children who see this movie and be like, jail time was involved here. So think about that. Yeah. All right. I don't know if The Bad Guys needs to be seen in theaters unless you're a hardcore animation fan, but whenever you watch it, it is a very pleasant diversion with some impressive artistic flourishes, both from the visuals and the voice work. I did just enjoy being in the world, and again, if you like animation, you've got to see Mr. Wolf. That animation is incredible. All right, so that's my review of The Bad Guys. And don't forget to click the link down below to participate in Popcorn's Puss in Boots 2: The Last Wish experience. Oh, you're going to have a great time. Share your thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.